All right, we're live. A few sexy people are coming on right now. I think the show is supposed to start at 11:30, but we're starting it at 11 Mountain Time, 12 Central Time. We were just having an amazing conversation with really, really awesome people from okdork.com. We had a private chat with people like Dieter, Ishan, Ovi from Social Bee. You guys should go check them out for social sharing. I think they're still on AppSumo. If they're not, check them out on Social Bee. And one of the most interesting things about having this conversation with people, there's many, many things. I think the two that kind of stood out. Number one is focus. And it's really interesting. I know for you, for me, we all want to do a lot in our lives. We want all of our lives to be meaningful. Is there anyone out there who's like, I want my life to be average? And I was talking about it with my friend, my brother's girlfriend yesterday. And the question I was thinking is like, if you're on your deathbed, what are you really going to be thinking about? Are you going to think about, man, look at all this money? I'm like, no, you're going to be like, shit, I wish I could give up this money to live longer. Are you going to be thinking, oh, look at my real estate? I thought about that. I was like, man, if I had more houses, on my deathbed, I'm going to be like, man, look at all this real estate. No, I'm going to be dead. And so I think the part with how we're living now is find things that matter and the meaning that you want to work on now. Wow, we're just jumping into the heavy. And with your business, focus on this stuff. Focus on the things that matter. And I think with AppSumo and our businesses, one of the things we've done really well over the years, and I think Chad has done it well, and Eamon and his team have done it well, is what are you focusing on? So what do I mean by that? If you have a blog, and you have YouTube, and you have Instagram, and you have TikTok, and you have LinkedIn, and you have Twitter, and you have whatever the fucking next big thing is, can you really be great at all of those? Maybe. I'm not trying to say you can't limit yourself. And I'm really working on life without limits. I think that's a fucking big dick thing, life without limits. But the thing I'd like to ask you is that what is the thing you can do more of? What is the thing that is working that you could 10x down? And when we were doing these office hours and everyone is here, what is up, Shatish? I was just talking about you. Is that everyone is trying to do a lot, which is not a bad thing. But what if you put all that power on one thing? What if you put all that energy? What if you took the opportunity cost of things you're giving up and you just double down on the thing that's working? And that was one of the probably biggest takeaways I've noticed from all the people that were on our private chat earlier. And so that was number one. And number two is a lot of people, as they're doing businesses, they think they have marketing problems. They're like, how do I market this thing better? How do I market my podcast better? How do I market my service better? How do I market my SEO better? And it's not a marketing problem. It's a business problem. And it's figuring out in business what is really valuable. What is it that people really want, that they want to pay you for, and they are excited to pay you for? And so that's an interesting question. What are you guys excited to pay someone for? I'm trying to think, would I pay someone for hair? Like I've had this question a few years ago. It's like, would I pay $25,000 to have hair again? And I like my bald head now, so I don't think so. But put in the comments, Nicolette, Shatish side, what is something you'd be excited to pay $10 for right now? So put that in the comments. What is up, saying Tran? Good to see your name. DMT equals FTW. Equa can't. Benjamin, wash hands. What up, Benjamin Temple, my man? Good to see you. So I do have questions that you guys have submitted, and we're going to do the 8-figure office hour questions. And I love seeing every single one of y'all. Welcome to the show. If you're not on our YouTube as well, it's youtube.com/okdork. Make sure you guys go and subscribe. We're putting out a lot of really helpful content in overcoming fear. And I want to talk about that a little bit today. I got some other things on the agenda that we'll talk about, but overcoming fear, finding confidence. I've noticed there's sometimes, I was doing some psilocybin recently and I was in the desert. I'm on a van life. Right now I'm at my mom's house. And I was like, man, I don't love myself enough. And it's so strange. I was thinking about my brother's kid last night. He's 6. And I was like, man, there's so much to learn from a 6-year-old. He was playing with cars, these cars called Mercard. And you run the card into a car, and it transforms. And I was like, do you think he's trying to be anyone else? No, he's just being himself. He's just loving himself and going for it. And yeah, there's something really powerful about that in all of our lives. And we're trying to find the meaning. We're trying to find the purpose. And I think work is a really beautiful way of how do I spend the majority of my time, which is what work becomes, on something that matters to me. So we have a lot of fun things to talk about. Kind of a little bit of a fun tangent right there. But the things that you guys would be excited to pay for, TJ Spinks is tutoring for kids since schools are closed. Saskia is back. Hello, my friend. Minda wants to pay for high quality courses on anything. I'm about that. I've been trying to find more people to pay. One thing that I would actually say, Minda, which has been interesting on paying things, is that as you're finding ways of improving, that's really what we're trying to say is like, how do we improve? You have to know what you want to improve on. So I want to improve on chess. And one thing I've realized recently is we need to be responsible for our own learning. So I have a chess coach, Andrew. Hi, Andrew. What's up? And he's great, but he's not as effective as I think he could be in improving my chess game. I specialize in bullet 1-minute games. And so it was really powerful to be like, oh, well, I have to be responsible for my learning. I have to figure out what is the most effective way for me to improve. So that has been a really interesting one to really be thinking about. So other things people would be paying for. I will pay for professional and personal development, learning new skills. Hell yeah, Syed. Towels. I'd pay for $10 to access your YouTube channel. I don't know how much. Here's a thought for all of you. How much? Oh man, this is really interesting question. I'm curious about this. How much is your reputation worth? Jennifer Jones, Ishan, saying Morrow. How much is your reputation worth? How much is it that your name? And what is your reputation? This is something that I've been thinking about as I'm doing more content. As we're about to put out a PDF on things that we've learned from YouTube. We're working on it, and I'm like, wow, it has my name on it. Like, how much is my name worth? And what do you guys think about your own reputations? What's up, Rocket Yadav, my man? I think this reputation and name is super damn valuable. Yeah, Ikua, exactly, priceless. Minda paid $99 for a masterclass subscription. That's awesome. Chess, not there yet. We're all trying to learn different things. I guess how much is your brand and your name worth? Really, really fascinating question. I'm going to go through some of the questions that you guys submitted because I want to prioritize those ones. I'm going to post the form so you guys can submit the form if you have questions that you want to go over. The things that I've been really focused on and struggling and excited about is basically overcoming fear, finding confidence, and business journeys. So if you have any topics related to overcoming fear, finding confidence, or your business journey, mostly starting, but also the marketing part, that's the part I really love as well. Post those questions in that form. I posted it in the comments, and you guys could answer. What's up, Bradley? And I'll do my best to go over all of your questions as much as I can in the next hour and a half. And I love every single one of you guys. I hope you're doing amazing today. Let me jump right into the questions. So you guys have submitted a lot of really, really great questions. And that we had some of the people from a previous chat. I want to make sure I answer their questions too. So there's a lot of really great questions. Jason runs a site called threadies.com. I'll post it up on the site. And there's Threadies. You guys can see the site right here. Boom. And so Jason sells scrunchies, which obviously because I have so much hair, I definitely need. Thank you very much, Jason. And so he was saying, how do I get off I don't know why I always do this, but like the Google Amazon juice. And so I'll pull up his site in the background. The two things that I was thinking for Jason specifically to get off the Google the Google drug or the Facebook drug or the Amazon drug. The things that I've actually really liked for doing that is how do you build your email marketing? That's really what you're trying to do at the end of the day is build up your email marketing. And one thing I'll do is that I can bring on a guest on the show and we'll do some of these things live because I think it's pretty fun to have stuff live. So you can see with Jason's site, I think the things I'd like to highlight on Jason's site, two things. One, you come to his homepage, there's no email, right? There's no email collection. And a lot of times the way I'd like to approach these things is what are the best sites in the world doing? So when you guys think of an e-commerce store or someone selling something store, what is an e-commerce store that you guys love? Post a URL to an e-commerce store you love, and we'll go look at theirs and we'll say, what can we learn for Jason in his e-commerce store selling these thready things? So we've got some really great people on the chat. Shlomi is here. What's up, my man? Shalom. January, amazing name. I was born in February. What's up? So post your favorite URL for your e-commerce store, and I'm going to bring that up, and we'll actually go and say, hey, what can we learn from this e-commerce store that Jason can copy? Some of the things that I'm already seeing from Jason's site is that there's no email collect here. Two, the images in the site is just the way to think about a website is think about real estate. So if you have real estate, you put your best stuff on the real estate. You're like, all right, they start at the top of a site and then they work down. And so you have this huge ass section here wasting a lot of the great real estate. This is your prime real estate. And so you kind of have no real great picture here. You have a lot of text here, right? And maybe you're doing SEO. And then it's like this stuff here. So let's like edit some of this stuff. Boom. Let's just start editing. Okay. Best sellers at Threadies. And so now, I mean, I personally don't like carousels. That's me. I'm deleting the carousel part. You guys can see this, I hope. All right, so I'm deleting the carousel part. Just deleting it. Oh, this feels so refreshing. All right, delete element. Boom. All right. So now it's just his best sellers. Boom. Right when I get to the site, I'm seeing his best stuff. Can you guys see this? It's not showing. I'm not seeing like the updated thing. It's not moving. Let me stop sharing and try it again. So Jason's site. All right. So now I think you can actually see it better. So with Jason's site, boom. I'm gonna make it bigger so you guys can see it. So if you saw it before, it had a bunch of text, and I just started deleting things. And so again, with real estate, this is your prime real estate. Get them into your prime real estate as soon as possible, which is your best sellers. So you guys have commented in a few of the different ones. And remove all the stuff. All right, now you guys can see it. You guys can see it now. I think you guys can all see it now. Oh, it's not showing? I think it should be showing in a second. All right. So a few of your favorite sites are Zappos. What are your other favorite sites? Let me remove this from the stream. So show me a few of your other favorite sites, and I'll pull it up. And so with Threadies, right? You guys can see this. Yes. Yes, you can see it now. I'm not showing anything, but can you guys see it when I add it to the stream right there? Yes. Okay. So let's look at Zappos. Let's just go look. And I think this is where Andrew Chen, one of my best friends, has said this to me, and it was really powerful. One of the things he said is, Noah, you try to innovate 10 out of 10 things. Instead, innovate 1 out of 10 things, and 9 out of 10 things, just copy what the best people are doing. Just copy what the best are doing. So for Jason out there, let's just look at Zappos as an example. So with Zappos, they have, this chat, sign in. Okay, maybe they're a little bit bigger than us, but that's what it is. So think about this. What does Zappos want us to do on their website? Think about it. There's basically 2 things that they're saying to do. Come explore, bam, or search for something, bam. All right, let's pick another e-commerce store to check out. Away Luggage. So my point here for you, Jason, and for a lot of the people out there that are starting e-commerce business, or if you're doing content, go look at people in other fields and say, hey, like for me, I've been following this guy, Anthony Pomp. He's a creative guy. He talks about crypto and crazy shit. But I'm like, what is he doing that I can learn from and copy for me with starting businesses, overcoming fear, and business journey stuff? And so now I'm replicating some of his things. So I've taken my I've made my podcast interviews into videos. And now what I copied of him is you take those videos and you cut them up into 10-minute chunks. And it's because I looked at other categories. So if you look at Away Luggage, Jason, number 1, boom, email right away. Secondly, once I've done that, look how clean it is on their site. Built for modern travel, shop all. Now let's come back to Threadies. Now that we've seen a few examples. Threadies site. It doesn't look as clean. You've got the big ass logo taking my attention. I have all this stuff here. What do you want me to do on the site? So again, I kind of showed it to you guys a little bit earlier. And then you have all this text. I'd delete everything. Let's just delete it. You guys can see it now. Delete, 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 delete. Ah, man, I'm on like a deleting crazy. Boom. Now the site is the new best sellers at Threadies. Boom. That just looks pretty. That just looks prettier. I like it. And so again, coming back to some of these things, guys, is that as you're doing any of these things in any of your businesses, if you're a content creator, if you're an info marketer, if you're a service-based business, if you're an e-commerce store, go look at parallel industries and see what you can learn for yourself. And I think there's going to be a lot that you'd be surprised about. All right, let's keep going with a few more of these questions. So Juan is saying, how do I prepare a Kickstarter campaign? Would have been, I personally don't like Kickstarter. That's just me, because I feel like it's a bunch of businesses that are never going to become real. What's the best way to do marketing for it? All right. Well, have you guys bought anything on Kickstarter? Allbirds is another one. Yeah. So for Kickstarter, I I think the question, what you're really trying to figure out, when you're doing any of your marketing, if you're having wineman.co.uk, Dieter, if you're on Wheel Brothers, if you're on any of these different sites that you're trying to grow your business, the number one question in marketing is, what is my goal? Then you have to have a deadline, and then you just work backwards from that. And so, for example, if you're doing a Kickstarter campaign, the thing I would try to figure out is, how much am I trying to raise? That's it. And then all you have to do is create a spreadsheet. I'm going to find I'll find our spreadsheet for OkDork, and then let me show it to you. So I'll show you guys how we do it to give you guys that example. But basically with these ideas, if you're doing Kickstarter, if you're doing any marketing, if you're trying to grow your newsletter, maybe you're using sendfox.com, or you subscribe to sendfox.com/Noah. That's my newsletter. As you guys are doing that, think about, what is my goal? And then based on your goal, it's just a work backwards plan. I don't think marketing is very complicated. It's, do I have something that people want? Where the fuck are they? So let me show you our plan that we have. So I'll pull it up on the side screen so that you guys can actually see how we're approaching some of this stuff. The comments come in a little bit later, but a lot of you guys, so Nicolette loves supporting Kickstarters. A lot of you guys, Jake Steele, what is up, man? Mike Piley, good to see you. Hamedo. Yeah, Adam Knight. A lot of things we buy from Kickstarter don't turn out as great as we're hoping or we're thinking they are, which is a whole nother discussion. So I'm going to just share with you guys our spreadsheet, and I'm pulling it up over here. I'm pulling it up in the background to make it smooth. So when you're doing Kickstarter, when you're doing Wineman, yeah, Kevin, I started a little bit early because I told people I'm coming over. So as you're doing any of these things, let me just show you as an example. Boom. So as you're doing your marketing, just work backwards. And so this is what we do with OkDork. And I just want to show you as an example. Figure out your goal and say, well, if I want to get 100,000 followers on Instagram, or for us right now, our goal for 2020 for OkDork is, how do we get the total active audience to 1 million people? And you could see on the bottom, we have about 170,000 people that consume the different things we're sharing. And now the question becomes, for Kickstarter or for a info marketing business or for a sales business or for whatever it is, how do I get to that goal? And then you work backwards with projections. So you say, hey, I'm trying to get this target. I'm trying to do these things. What is the best way for me to get there? So I think we have these projections. And this is a little more advanced, and I don't think you guys have to copy and go as crazy as we're doing with some of this stuff. But I want to give you kind of the ideas or the structure. Yeah, where the fuck are they? Is go and just look at, all right, how can I get there? And I think one of the things that was interesting from putting this spreadsheet together is, where is our biggest 10x opportunity in marketing? So is it on Facebook group? No. Our Facebook group grows very slowly. Is it on Twitter? No. Is it on Instagram? Maybe. Is it on TikTok? I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But I would say with the things that we've observed from putting this plan together for OkDork marketing, which is the same as your Kickstarter marketing, which is the same as your Wineman marketing, is, what's my plan? And then where can I focus my energy on? So the way that we're approaching it is, we're focusing on Google. So we're focusing on writing more blog content and more YouTube content. We think that's going to be our biggest upside. And then that's where we spend majority of our week. And 20% of our week, like 1 day a week on Fridays, we're experimenting with TikTok. We're experimenting with Instagram. We're experimenting with Twitter and these other places. But really, you've got to focus on, where is my 10x opportunity, and focus everything around that. Yeah, Benjamin, look at Benjamin. Yes, I agree. And I'm glad that you appreciate it. Why do we do this? Because I fucking love it. And I want you to go get results for yourself. Travis also posted this link, which is really good. He looks like Nick Cannon. You're a good looking dude. Get that Mariah Carey money, man. So sumo.com/story/Kickstarter-email-list. That is strategies that we have researched and put together for you on sumo.com, where you guys can go copy that and use it for yourself. But this is how we have approached it. I think the takeaways here is, model out your destination in marketing. And then secondly, focus. What I mean by that is, what are the channels that you can do? Because we can't do all these channels. Look at all these channels. Can't do that. We don't have enough money and time, and no one can. Like, I talked to a very famous person, and I didn't name drop, so I can just say that. Very famous person, and he's like, I do YouTube, but I don't give a shit. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, look, I can only be great at a few things, so I just don't focus on YouTube. And I was like, oh, that's a really powerful thing. And that is why that person is able to accomplish a lot, because they focus on less, and they do really well with that. And so that is how I'd approach some of this Kickstarter stuff. Yeah, man. Canwar said something really interesting. So I'm going to go through more questions and then I'll talk to you guys in the audience just as much. I want to highlight this. So Canwar, what is up, man? 10-year-old rule to earn $1 million was quite provoking. If you haven't checked out on YouTube, on youtube.com/okdork, I put together a video recently and I realized that it took me about 15 years. It took me a little bit longer, but it's about 10 to 15 years to make $1 million. So if making money, which is not our only goals in business, it is the only goal in business, actually. I mean, if you're a business, your job is to stay in business. And so it took me 10 years to make my first $1 million. The reason I'm really excited about the 10-year rule is that for you to get your $1 million, you just find something you can work on and do it for 10 years. It's not just, here's the thing. This is really key. This is a major key alert. You can work on anything for 10 years and not make $1 million. You have to work on something and keep improving. And that's where I've noticed a lot of people. I was seeing different people talk about, hey, I'm putting out a lot of blogs. I'm putting out a lot of YouTube. I'm putting out a lot of TikTok. I'm putting out a lot of whatever the fuck it is. And I'm like, well, are you improving it? And they're not. So I was talking with this guy who's doing big boy plants. And I'll pull up his site in the background. And so in Big Boy Plants, he's putting out really, really great content. I'm actually really impressed with this content. But the problem with it is that you can tell that he's not actually keep improving the articles. And he's awesome and he's going to. But the point is, pick anything you can work on for 10 years, be consistent for 10 years, and keep improving. And if you can follow that formula, you can be as big as you want. You could be Big Boy Plants. And I truly believe every single one of us can do that. I've never really thought I'm more special. I just think I'm an igniter and I've done my things and I've figured out ways to make it happen for 10 years. One of the key secrets for me is how do I hire a team around me to help support that? And if you're like, well, no, I'm not rich yet, or I don't have millions of dollars yet, start with your friends. Start doing it all yourself and start building the business and figure out how to be resourceful. One of the number one things to be successful in entrepreneurship is resourcefulness. And so many people have these blames. Oh, the government, my boss, this. It's like, yes, then you should be an employee and shut the fuck up. But if you want to run a business and you want to deal with the challenges and the benefits that come from it, you have to figure out how to be resourceful. All right. Yes. So Minda, to the point of marketing and to the things in life, I actually have become more and more about this. Minda is like my number one today. Who's going to be number one in the audience? I love every single one of y'all, but I think she's winning so far. Is that we can do everything good, but you can only do a few things great. And so in your thing, and this is something I'm actually a little bit shocked about how many people, besides fear is the number one thing holding people back from success in everything. But the second thing that I'm really noticing is focus. And it's that they don't know what to focus on, or they're focusing on too many things. This is one of my favorite quotes about this. What is everyone's goal this week? And what I've noticed is that the word priority is singular, but everyone has multiple priorities. My priority this week, and I'm curious your priority this week, M.Ed, Rohit, Ikua, Jacob. My priority week, this is what I've been doing every week, and I'll post it. Let me just grab it from my to-dos each week. So here's my to-dos. My priority this week, I'm posting mine. I want to know what your priority this week is. And this will help you with your focus. This will help you accomplish the things you want. This is my priority this week. It is to be present with my parents, Atlas, and my brother. Atlas is my brother's kid. What is your priority this week? And I wonder, staying here with me, we're going to do this for an hour, but my point is not for you to watch me. I want you to be entertained, but more importantly, I want you to get results for you. So I'm going to keep going through your questions, keep helping you get results for you. So say, what is your priority this week? And you're going to get there. I also have some fun questions that I'll sprinkle them in. I've got some really interesting questions I've been working on about how to figure out who you are. How to figure out who you are. I was like, damn, because I'm figuring out who I am in this phase of my life and as I'm evolving. And I think it's interesting to figure out who you are. All right, so post your one goal this week and tell me how you're doing on it. I'd love to see that in the comments. I'd love to see you guys making these changes. So again, Juan Lisandro, for your Kickstarter campaign, I just showed you my spreadsheet. Do that for yourself. Figure out the goal, work backwards, make that shit happen. So Martin, again, I'm just going to highlight, how do you balance patience versus expectations? I think you should. So someone said this quote to me, and this is one of my favorite quotes on patience. It was basically, be patient with humans and impatient with robots. I think impatience is great. I think extremism is great. I think lack of work-life balance is great at times. And I think and this is what I'm working on, there's different tools in our tool belt that we need to use at times. The thing you need to recognize is, what are you excellent at? What are you, I'm looking at you, I might go close. What are you excellent at? And how much of your time are you spending in your excellence? So like every day I read my mantra, and in my mantra is focus on your excellence. And it's like, fuck, man, I want to improve my weaknesses. It's like, that's okay. You can get more well-rounded. You don't have to give up your excellence, but go more. And like, how much of your time this week is doing things you're excellent at? Oh, Jason Blake is in the house. All right. So here's some of the things you guys are focusing on this week. And I love this for you guys. Jennifer Jones, Saskia is going to go sendfox.com, her newsletter. She's going to grow that to get up her emails. Satish is going to get better at Vue.js. I love that. What are you working on this week? What are you going to be making happen this week? Adam Knight is doing nocode.works. Oh, what's up, Adam Knight? I love doing the salute thing. I think it's dope. Can someone tell me what spreadsheet? Jasmine, it'll be in the replay, but I showed a spreadsheet about how do you organize your marketing. And then the main thing that I was really focusing on is have a goal with your marketing. Let me try to see if I can, I'm bring it up in a little bit, but have a goal with your marketing and then map it out. I'll try to see if I can show it again one more time so that you guys can see it. I'll pull it up in the background. I'll show it one more time in just a moment. So yes. Oh my God, this is really getting exciting. Minda, you are on fire today. How do you spend it? So maybe let's talk about this for a little bit. Who here is making money? Who here is making money? And if you're making money, post your URL. So if you're making money, the number one thing I'm seeing for people making money and why they're not making more money is because of 10x opportunities. And I know there's this Grant Cardone guy that has all this fucking airplane shit. I don't know anything about that guy. And I've read other books, Pareto principle, bullshit. All of it sounds like crap to me. But what I've realized is that everyone has something working, but they're not doing a lot more of it. Think about that. Think about it for you. What is working? And if you're starting a business, we can go over that part. But if you're running a business right now, what is working? So the Threadies guy, Jason, that we talked about earlier, he said, look, my website maybe doesn't do shit. I get all my money from commercial sales. Or we talked with the guy named Amar earlier today. He has my dad podcast, something about dad podcast. And so what was fascinating about the dad podcast is that I was like, how much money are your podcast making? Nothing. He's like, I made all my money from the state sponsoring us and doing workshops in person. And I was like, well, how much more of that are you doing? He's like, not much more. And so the question for you to think about is, what are your 10x opportunities? And let me give you more examples, because it's like, well, everyone's like, yeah, no, I've pushed it. I think the reason that AppSumo has grown to the level it is, around $30 million business, I think the reason we've built these businesses 7 figures multiple times, and it's not bragging about it, I'm trying to help you do it for yourself, is I think Chad, my partner, and our team say, what is working and how do we push to the limit? And what does the limit mean? It means it's not profitable anymore. You get it to the point where there's no more profit out of that channel. And I promise you, you have not reached it in your business. So what are some examples of that? With AppSumo, we do email marketing. And we've done email marketing. Guess what? Now we have a team of 5 people. Chris Gruyon, Alona, Max. There's all these amazing people doing email marketing. Before, it used to be just one person part-time. When I started AppSumo.com, I had this guy, Nicola, in Bulgaria, doesn't even speak fluent English, doing our email marketing, which is pretty fucking crazy. Now there's a team of 5. Facebook ads. So I can pull up our Facebook ad spend. I love showing our Facebook ad spend. I think we're spending somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000 a month in our Facebook ads. I started out, when I first started AppSumo, I spent $10 a day in Facebook ads. $10 a day. And now we're spending up to $5,000 a day across our online marketing for paid advertising. So I'm giving you a few more examples. Our sales team, we have this amazing guy, Ullman, and Justin and Jarrett and Jeff and all these people at AppSumo. We used to have a sales team at just Noah. And so for 10x opportunities, the question for yourself is, what is working in your business? How can you 10x that? And most people say, well, yeah, I pushed it. No, you have not. If blogging is working for growing your business, how many blog posts are you putting out a day? More than one? If YouTube is working for your business, are you putting out 1 YouTube a week? Can you put out 10 a week? Can you put out 100 a week? And so I think you have to get to the point where there is that diminishing marginal return. And most people have not experienced the full 10x. And that is why they are not, hey, what is up, sexy bastard Ullman? most of you have not 10x any of these things, or you think you have, and you still have a lot of low-hanging fruit. I'm pulling up our ad spend so we can actually, I love seeing how much we're spending in ads. I'm like, if there's an opportunity, we should be spending a fuck ton more of it. All right, I'm pulling it up in the background. Give me a sec. All right, so 10x opportunities. I'm just trying to give you guys a lot of examples of, hey, there's a lot more juice in the orange. And you got to stop and smell the roses. This is my mom. Oh, especially for you. My mom is really into gardening, so she's brought roses. Maybe if you guys are excited, would you guys want to see my mom on camera? She can come in and join us for the 8-figure office hours. All right, there's a lot of 10x things coming through. But yeah, I think 10x is like really, it's not maybe even 10x, it's double down. Like, what can you double down on right now? So if you have a marketing agency, so Adam says, I own a marketing agency. Yeah, so Adam's awesome. He's like, hey, we've got a lot of business coming at the moment, bringing internet fresh to the UK. So my suggestion is, what can you double down on your business? For you, for Jasmine, for Paul, for Peter, Schulte, good to see you guys. You guys, if you want to see mom, all right, I want you guys to do more action for yourselves. So I want you to do some things live. So if someone in the comments posts something you're doing live right now for your business, and maybe I'll even bring you on the show. And if enough people are doing something for themselves, I'll bring Mama Sumo in and she'll come and say hello. So let me look at our ads this month. All right, I'll pull up. Hey, we're not as much as I'd like to see us be spending, but it's definitely a good bit. Let me see the Chrome tab. All right, here's our ad spend on. I think Eamon doesn't like when I share all of our stuff, but I'm sharing to the limit these days. And in terms of 10x opportunities, let me close the banner. You can see we're spending $50,000 and the month's not over yet. My point here is that if it's working, have you doubled down to the extreme? And you have to pay attention to what's working in your business. And I'm not saying do new things. What I'm actually saying is, what can you stop doing in your business? And then what can you speed up? That's what we're talking about today, people. I love every single one of you guys. All right. And then what we're talking about a lot of this is for appsumo.com. If you guys don't know it, #1 site online for software deals. If you are starting or trying to grow any one of your online businesses, make sure you go check out appsumo.com. Does anyone know what commercial that was from? Does anyone know? Hey, Garrett Grimm. All right. What can you double down on right now? I'm building a sales funnel for a client. Yes, Ms. Ryan Fleming, what is up? Adam is from coconutcreatives.co.uk. Let me ask a question. I'm going to try something a little bit wild right now. Are you guys ready for something wild? We're going to try something a little bit wild. I got to do this one because I'm curious about it. I'm putting a question up and I need to know. This question is going to be tough. So stick with me here, but I think it's going to be powerful. And I'm going to keep going to the questions that you guys submitted in the online form, but check this question out. Okay. And then if you're ready to answer honestly, just clap your hands. Go like, oh, that's fucking weird. But anyways, if you're ready to answer honestly, just leave it in the comments and I'll post mine. So this is not, I'm not trying to mindset Tony Robbins psychological shit, but I've had this really fascinating experiences in the past 2 months since I've been facing some fears. I faced a relationship fear. I was scared to be alone, but now I'm alone. I'm single. I was afraid to lean into work and actually being out here, putting myself out here in front of you guys. And I'm leaning into that. And, you know, I'm afraid of a lot of different things, you know, afraid of loving myself to some extent. And you start realizing, and I'm having these really amazing growth spurts. Like I'm going through puberty at almost 40. And some of that is facing and understanding these fears and going into them and not away from them. So I'm curious for you, if you're willing to face some of your fears and you're willing to see, because like this blew my mind. When we started monthly1k.com, and monthly1k.com is a course. It's $7 now. It's literally exactly how we start businesses and have created multi 7-figure business. It's a $7 product and we give you the money back once you've made it. The number one thing holding people back from success in business is fear. I didn't know that. I was surprised. And I'll talk about some of the ways to overcome fear and things that you can do to practice it. Because I think it's overcoming fear and it's finding confidence in yourself. It's finding those W's. What's side? I do love, they call me the Jupac for a reason because I love Tupac. And we're going to help you guys overcome some fears and live a fucking dope life. And I do believe this is the quote, and I'm working on a book. And I believe if we're willing to face all our fears, you can have everything you want in life. I believe that. And the question is, what fears are you not willing to face? And so, holy shit, you guys are going awesome on it. Because this is the thing, this is not talked about. It's not talked about what we're afraid of. Like, here's a question. If you want a question to ask some of your friends, someone next, this is a fucking really tough question. When was the last time? Well, I'll save it for a sec. No, I'm going to tell you. When was the last time you were jealous? Right? I think some of these questions of what are we afraid of? What's holding us back? And understanding it and starting to face it. Like, here's a fucking trip out. I'm living in a van. It's outside my mom's house. And I've been on this van trip. And one thing I didn't realize, and I was talking to my buddy Charlie Hohen, I didn't realize how much I limit myself. And I'm sure you guys do the same, but I'm sharing mine because I think you'll realize it for yourself and you'll be like, fuck, me too. And I don't have to. I used to say I'm not an author and I'm not an influencer and I'm not creative and I'm not a bunch of things. But I think those are the ones that come to mind. I'm like, oh, I'm not a creative person. Oh, I'm not an influencer. Oh, I'm not an author. And I just really started having these like, wow, why are we all so afraid of, why are we have so much shame? Why are we all so fucking afraid? And why are we so, and ultimately, why are we limiting ourselves? You know, I think I've gone to Tony Robbins and I've read a lot of self-help books and I've read a lot of non-self-help books. There's a lot of good ones. I mean, if you guys want to talk books, we can do that a little bit later. But they call them self-limiting beliefs. And I was shocked at how much I limit myself and how much we all do. I was talking with someone last night and she said, yeah, I'm not really self-aware. I'm terrible at being self-aware. You're so good at being self-aware. And I was like, you're actually great at being self-aware. That sounds like you know you are. And so I think that's part of the question is, what are we afraid of and where are we fucking limiting ourselves? And start facing some of these fucking fears and start going after them. So I'm going to start calling out some of the things we're afraid of. Oh, man. So Benjamin David Temple, one dope name. He's afraid of finding out I've wasted my life. Yeah, Schulte, this is a really powerful one. We have the tendency of comparing ourselves to the best in the world instead of giving ourselves credit for the stuff we do well. You know, loving yourself, it's like, I was thinking about my brother's kid. He doesn't think about, do I love myself? Am I wasting my life? You know what my brother's kid's doing? He's living. And I think when we can start living without shame, we can start facing some of the fears. And it's almost like being a kid again. I wouldn't say without obviously with responsibilities and a level of facing these fears, you can have everything you want in life. And so, yeah, I think it's easy to read some of this stuff. And so I'm trying to bring it up to the open so that we can actually start fucking tackling that shit and start accomplishing this thing. So like, Kevin, you said that, hey, our business is still small fry after all these years. That's something that I love Kevin, wineman.co.uk. Kevin, what would it be like to be unleashed? What would it be like if you had a big dick business? And that's what I say, big dicking. Big dicking is one of my favorite phrases. It's not that I have a big dick. I don't. I actually had a weird dream that someone had a really big dick last night. That's a fucking weird dream. But the reality with big dicking, it's not about penis. I don't care about that. It's that I am willing to face fears. I'm willing to face myself. And I think, Kevin, with you and your business, the wineman.co.uk, what are you willing to face to go to the levels that you want? And I think there's two paths of life. There is a safe path, which is watching Netflix every night and being comfortable. And that's one way of living. I'm not here to tell people how to fuck to live. You have to make that decision. But I do think there's this other way of life, which is uncomfortable, which is fear, which is facing yourself, which is challenging. But ultimately, I think that will be the most fulfilling way of living. And at the end of life, hopefully we don't have to die, but if you die and you're on your deathbed, only question you have to ask yourself, only question is how did I live my life? And what's great now is that you can determine. And what we realize is that all the things we're doing, what's really going to matter at the end? And really think about it. Close your eyes for a second. Close your eyes. Just come with me. Come on. You're safe. This is a safe space. What really matters at the end, right? It's probably not your real estate. It's probably not how big your fucking email list is. It's probably not big your social media following. What is it that matters at the end? Right? It's probably who you've actually helped. It's Kevin. For me, it's Kevin growing his wine business and realize he can big dick his wine business. It's Minda growing her practice and facing and growing some of those things. For me, it's like, how did I help improve the lives of the people around me? It's probably, how did I have my partner when I have a partner and children? How did I deal with them? That's it. And so it's interesting when you take a step back, like, because I think we get so consumed with the day-to-day of our lives that we don't actually get a chance to like reflect on what really matters. And especially in business, like I talk about how much I fucking hate drop shippers. I hate affiliate marketers, most of them. And it's because I don't think they're doing something that matters. I think they're just doing revenue, profit generating opportunities, which who fucking cares? Because if you're going to die, you're going to look back with that money. Can't be buried with it. So what my ex used to say to me all the time, you can't be buried with the money. And that's really stayed with me. So I'm going to call out some of these comments because I think they're great. Yeah, Matea, am I afraid of something right now? Yeah, talking about this shit. Because a lot of people want to talk about marketing and they want to talk about starting a business. But facing fear and finding confidence it's the part that matters to get the levels of success that people want for themselves. So Adam Knight, yeah, he wants to know he did a good job with his kids. I'm going to keep imposter syndrome. So David Stern, good to see you. You know, a lot of us are afraid of imposter syndrome. You know, my mom was saying this 2 days ago. I'm at her house. She said, why is that person famous? Or why does that person have a book? And, you know, at the end of the day, it's not about that person. It's about ourselves. But the real question is not imposter. It's like, if you're uncertain of your work, just go help one person. And I think that's something that I've been really reflecting on. It's not about how do you get as famous as possible. It's how do you actually help as many people as possible? And by doing that, you probably end up getting famous. Kale has got a really interesting one. He's afraid of being himself to the world. The one thing that was holding me back, living non-authentic, also finding self-worth and value. You know, what's amazing about life is it's the most hard, simple thing ever. And I think the thing that I've been really resonating with is that there's no second takes. There's no round two, but we live like there is. We have jobs like, oh yeah, well, this job sucks. My boss sucks. My relationship sucks. My health sucks. But, you know, it's good enough. And I think when we're starting to really face those things, that we can make a fucking epic ass life. But the part that's hard, Kale, is it's not easy. And so to be yourself to the world is to go out there and face some of the shame, face some of the fear. And one of my favorite books recently is Surrender Experiment. It's a little hippy dippy, but I'll put it out in the banners. I'll call it out. And I've really enjoyed Surrender Experiment. It's a story about this guy who just kind of surrendered to life. And I think the book is a little bit extreme in that, but Surrender Experiment, good book, thumbs up. It's a parable, and it's not a parable, excuse me. It's a story. And I think it's a great story about saying, let me just be open to life. Let me just go and see what life is actually trying to tell me. And I think we have these conflicts. We have this like brain thing up here, and then we have this like heart stomach thing down here, and they fight each other all fucking day. What should I have for dinner? What should I do with my health? What should I do with my work? What should I do with my relationship? And we're like, well, I have a gut thing here that I should trust, but this head thing is going to fight it. And so I think the more that you can start trusting down there, not your penis or vagina, but your heart and your stomach and your gut, I found life to be a little bit more fulfilling. And that's what I'm going for. And that's what I'm trying to share and help everyone else do with me. A few other things that people fear, and then I'm going to go back into some of the more questions. Getting bored. Yeah, Katan Cumbre said getting bored of starting something. Let me tell you a quick story about boredom, because I think this is really powerful. Boredom fucking wins. I'm going to put that up as a quote because I think it's that important, is that boredom wins. If you're worried about, I'm going to even put the fucking word. Mom, sorry if you're watching this. I don't know if you are. She's downstairs. Boredom fucking wins. So quick story about boredom, which blew my mind. I was playing horse. It's a basketball game where you shoot, and if you miss, you get a letter. If your buddy misses, he gets a letter. Whoever spells horse first loses. And so I was playing my buddy John Ross. Shout out John Ross. Check him out, Nom Dudes on YouTube. And I started shooting the most boring shot because I made it every time. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. This is a really interesting parallel for life and business, is that shot I made and I kept making and I didn't miss. And he was missing it once in a while. But in life, and even more in business, let's say, we're like, let's do the exciting one. Let's try the new thing. Let's take a shot from far away. Let's take it from behind the backboard. Let's do it over here. Let's do it out there. But the boring one wins. And so the more the people that can face grit, the more people, and what I tell myself is just keep going, right? And fucking love that boredom. And obviously we want to do new things. That's one of the things that people are starting businesses. A lot of the entrepreneurs, they have the fucking shiny new business. And even people with successful businesses like Sumo Group, we have an 8-figure company and we're like, oh, the next thing is going to be the big new thing. But consistency and sticking with something and craftsmanship or craftswomanship and refinement That is where success is going to start coming through for a lot of people. And I know that's where it's coming through for me lately, where it's like, how do I get into the boredom? How do I find which part is my excellence and stick with that? Because it is easy to give up. It's easy to want to go on to the next thing. Boredom fucking wins, man. I love that quote. Oh, man. You know, it's interesting. We are fearful of finding out we aren't capable of succeeding. I think what's actually really more interesting about success and succeeding specifically is defining our levels of success for ourselves. That is fucking crazy. I think if we can actually define our own levels of success, it's hard to fail if you have your own measurement of success. Think about that. Like if you have your own measurement of success of like, hey, I just want to be doing this stuff. Here's how I define it. Like I want to put on a conference. I want to have a service business. I want to put on Zoom workshops. I want to be doing whatever businesses there are. Can't really fail if you just do the thing that you exactly want. And I think that if you do a business and you focus it on that, there is no failure. Like how do you work on something where you can never fail? That is where you're going to have the most success possible. Wow. So I'm going to Minda again. Minda's like top 10. Scared to show the real deep thoughts in my head and heart so publicly and vulnerable as you are now. Minda, why don't you share one if you're interested and see how it feels? I think one of the things that's been interesting is like if on my YouTube show, and if you guys aren't subscribed, by the way, youtube.com/okaytowork. I've been sharing like one of my next videos shows my bank account. And it's not about money. I'm experimenting sharing all. And I'm seeing how it makes me feel. I'm seeing how, and I think one of the things that I'm working through life is the spectrum of everything. So what does that mean? So I think we have spectrums. We have spectrums of boredom versus new things. We have a spectrum of like sharing everything versus sharing nothing. We have a spectrum of loving all versus like hating. We have a spectrum of extroversion versus introversion. And I think where I'm getting excited about life is not to give up one for the other, but figure out in different times and different instances, where are these serving us? And so I'm experimenting publicly about how do I just share more and see how that makes me feel? How am I enjoying that? As well, how is that resonating with the audience? And so far, I fucking love it. I'm like, yo, let's just go all the way. If we're going to go for it, let's just go all the way. And I think that resonates for all of you. So let's keep going with some of this. Alicia Lozano, I want to own my time and income. Let's do some business starting stuff, because I think that's a question a lot of people are out there. How many people, if people are here, are starting a business, and I think it's up to some of the business stuff, but the fear things, the reason I talk about fear is because I'm afraid of stuff. And I realize if I face my fears and share it with you, you'll face your fears and accomplish more for your own life. And my fulfillment is when you do things for yourself, not that you watch my stuff. I do enjoy it, but I enjoy it when you take action and results from your stuff. So here's a few fear things. I'm just going to give you a few fear challenges, and then we will go into starting businesses and some of the more starting and marketing questions. So a few of the things that I've realized that everyone needs to be doing is the coffee challenge. Who here has done the coffee challenge? Who here has done it? And if you have not done it, this is the thing that you need to go do today, right now, to start overcoming fear. And the coffee challenge is next time you buy anything online, over the phone, in person, ask for 10% off. That is what you do. And if you have not done it, do it next time you have the opportunity to buy anything. Just do that. And the thing that is not about getting the discount. The thing is about facing a fear, getting rejected, learning that you're still alive, and moving forward. And so I'll talk about a few other challenges, fear challenges. And what I've realized is that they're surprisingly powerful, these coffee challenges, because you do it and you're going to be more nervous than you think. I asked for 10% off. What the hell was I buying? I rented the RV that I have, and I asked for 10% off. She said, sure. I asked for 10% off somewhere else recently. I don't remember which restaurant. They said no. And it's just cool. It's like, oh, I'm still alive. But I think to get what we want in life, we have to ask for it. And we have to know that when we don't get what we want, either A, we keep going, and it's okay. There's no B. You keep going. And that's something I like. I'm working on a book, and I've been trying to reach some agents. And the agents aren't responding. And that is the world, God, the world, Allah, whoever, Jewish God, Muslim God, Buddha God, saying, do you really want this? And practicing fear, practicing rejection, thinking about what do we have strong convictions on, will help you keep going and getting the things you do want. So coffee challenge is number one. The second challenge, so who here is committed to doing the coffee challenge? Oh, who here is going to do it? Who's going to do it? Okay. Who is going to do it? Mattia did it. If you've done it, post a comment of what you've learned. So if you haven't done it recently, do it again. But if you have not done it, Peter Mack has not done it. I'm going to show my bank account in an upcoming video called How I Made My First Million Cash. Because I think all these fucking fakes they're not willing to go as far as I'm willing to go. And I don't even care what they're willing to do. I just think it's more interesting and more like, let me show you what I'm doing. And I think it's more, I think it's more fascinating. All right. So who is willing to go and do the coffee challenge? Doing it today at Starbucks. Okay. So done it once before. And so for someone who's done it, someone who's done the coffee challenge, post what you've learned if you've done it recently. There's no cost to a no. And I like that phrase. There's no, like, the only cost is if they say nothing, right? Like, there's no downside. Like, this is a thought, like, here's a framework for thinking that I've been really liking lately, which is, what is the upside versus downside of these things? So if you want to ask someone out on a date, a girl or guy, the upside, a marriage, love of your life. Downside, you get rejected for 10 seconds. But it is fascinating. You know, it's like the upsides are really high in life and the downsides are really low, but we kind of don't actually calculate that. My buddy John Arrow from mutualmobile.com, big ups to them. Think about the upside and downside in your different decision makings that you're done in life. So, all right, coffee challenge. You guys are gonna do the coffee challenge. Great. Here's 2 other challenges. I've got some new ones I've been working on. This is called the photo challenge. So the photo challenge I've been doing recently, and I don't like it, so I do it. The photo challenge is I ask random people when I'm out, which is especially with coronavirus now, is really fucking weird. I ask them to take a photo of me. Like, I was mountain biking this weekend and I was like, hey man, can you take a photo of me? They're like, okay. Or I was at the flower store with my mom. I don't have my, let's see, I'll show you the photos. I was at the flower store with my mom and I was like, can you take a photo of us? And it's weird. It's really weird. You'd be surprised how much you're like, oh, well, I don't need a photo and I don't need this and I don't need that. Oh yeah. Here's me and my mom. We're at the flower store. And so the photo challenge, if you haven't done it, I know you probably have to ask people to take photos, but doing it on a more regular basis. And the point here is that this is what's holding us back from getting everything we want in life. It is fear. And so fear of asking in business is the number one thing holding people back from success, especially in getting started in their business. So I will definitely recommend. Travis is going to do it. Adam Knight. So Adam just did it. I just phoned for Chinese dinner. I asked for 10% off and he laughed at me and said he'd be here in 30 minutes. Adam, how did you feel? And what did you learn more importantly? And so it's not about the discounts. It's not about the photos. It's not just about getting the photo taken. It's actually about doing something, facing a fear, getting over it, and realizing life goes on. The last challenge I've done is the Grey Poupon challenge. I posted it on Twitter yesterday. Grey Poupon challenge. Do they have a mustard one? I'll put mustache. So the Grey Poupon challenge is the last one I'll talk about. And basically, next time you pull up to someone in your car or in your Uber, you get them to roll down their window and you say, pardon me, do you have any Grey Poupon? And it's awkward as fuck. And I've done it twice so far. And people are like, well, one person smirked. One guy like looked really angry and rolled up his window. And the point here with this fear challenge as well is all these ideas are, how do you put yourself out there to get a little rejection, face it, and keep moving forward. And that will make you so fucking unbelievably powerful when you're doing it in your business and you're doing other aspects of your life, in your relationship, in your health. We got to go and face some fears and speak up for ourselves. And one thing that I've been exploring a lot of is shame. How much shame do we fucking have? We have shame for all the shit. Like, I got a nice car. I have shame. Hey, I actually want this thing. I have shame. What if we just been okay with it? And that's something that I've been processing with a lot of this different stuff that's going on is, if I'm feeling jealous, if I'm feeling angry, if I'm feeling annoyed with my mom, I'm at my mom's house. If I'm feeling these things, just try to sit with it. And I think before I used to distract myself or avoid it or run away. It's like, let me just breathe for a second. Why am I feeling that? It's okay to feel that. It's okay to feel lonely. I'm talking to myself and I'm talking to you. It's okay. It'll go forward. All right. So I'm going to keep going. So we've done a lot of fear stuff. A lot of this stuff is going to help you accomplish the things you guys want in your lives. It is facing fear to get what you want. It is building your confidence. And how do you build your confidence? You do things where you start feeling great about yourself. You go and teach one person something. You make your bed in the morning. Every morning I've been doing a thing called Maker Morning. And so I basically just have a structure in my morning where I basically do 30 push-ups right when I wake up. I take my collagen pills, so there's less wrinkles. I journal. I read. And that's pretty much like the core of my morning. And I just kind of do that. I'm like, yo, that gives me a win every single morning. And then each day it's like, well, what makes today fulfilled? What would make today fulfilled. And then I'm like, all right, well, how do I have more of that in my day? So the majority of my day can be fulfilled. I'm gonna try to see if I have. Oh man, I don't have my phone's downstairs. Well, I'll show you an example of what that maker morning kind of looks like. I want to go through a little bit more about some of the questions to make sure I answer as many people's questions as possible. And if you, smash that like button, smash that button. I guess that's what people say. Hit the like button below. You guys submitted a shit ton of office hours questions. I want to make sure I go through a lot of these ones. There's so many amazing ones. Oh, wow. So Travis Newton, MBA. What is up, Travis Newton? He asked a question as well. How do I create a Dream 100 in a new line of business? So if you don't know what that means, a lot of times in businesses, and I'm going to go through the questions to make sure we power through these. And this is the 8-figure office hours. If you guys have questions about how to start, overcome fear, find confidence, starting and growing a business to 8 figures or beyond, I only know how to get to 8. And when I get 9, I'll tell you that. But so in terms of creating a Dream 100, what a lot of times is you're starting more of a service business or you're trying to start a non-mass market business. This is just basically creating a list of those customers. And I think a lot of times in our marketing and our businesses, they're like, oh, well, how do I go market? It's like, just make a list of your ideal customers. One of my favorite questions when I ask people starting business, I'm like, oh, who's your customer? No, tell me the next customer you want. Who are they? And I will bring them for you. They're like, well, I don't know. I'm like, that's exactly your problem. And so create your Dream 100 list is basically be specific on who your customer list is. The second thing is that if you have customers, they have customers for you. Your best sales team is your customers. Let me repeat myself. Your best sales team is your own customers. Leverage them, help them so they are excited to promote you. All right, more questions. How do you start an e-commerce business? Holy shit. Why don't you just ask me the meaning of fucking life? So this is a question. What is up, Jennifer? This is Jennifer Jones. What is up, my man? Jennifer Jones is a guy, not a girl. How do you start an e-commerce business? So maybe if anyone out there has an e-commerce business, they can add some comments. But in terms of starting an e-commerce business, let's do a real example. My mom is doing flowers. All right. So let's say that my mom now she's retired, but let's say she wants to get back to work. So I think if you're starting a business and you want to do e-commerce, I don't care about e-commerce, let's say per se, but I think what you have to think about is am I excellent in? What am I excellent in? And 2, what do I have access to? And this is I know you're like, Noah, but show me how to start an e-commerce business. We can start fucking e-commerce business all day. That's just not the hard part. The hard part is people try to start businesses not outside their comfort zone. That part's not bad. It's that they try to start businesses that are harder for themselves than they need to be. So what am I excellent in? And what do I have access to? And so the thing that I would do for my mom for like an e-commerce business is that the e-commerce business, what you're saying is, think about this. You're not saying I want to start an e-commerce business. You're saying I want to create revenue and income so I can live a certain type of life. That's what you're saying. It doesn't necessarily have to fucking be e-commerce. But let's take the plant example as, oh, Jennifer Jones is a girl? I have a Jennifer Jones on the show that's a guy. I'm so confused now. Fuck. But anyways, so let's take my mom, for example. My mom is excellent at a few things. My mom is excellent at fucking cleaning. She is a clean addict. She cannot help. She, like, my ex-girlfriends have tried to do the dishes, and that's why I broke up with them. No, I'm joking. She is great at gardening. Lately, she's been a gardening fucking freak. 3, she is the most consistent, reliable person I have ever fucking met in my life. She makes these lists, and she'll be like, no, 2 years ago, that person was supposed to give you a $5 refund. Have they given you a refund yet? I'm like, Jesus Christ, Mom. So 1, what are you amazing at? And 2, what do you have access to? So if I was my mother, oh, the flowers just dropped. Kiss from a rose on a grave. So what I would do is, all right, I have those 3 skills: reliability and persistence. That's accountability coach. 2, clean fucking freak. That's a cleaning business. And 3, I'm into gardening. And so then I would try to understand which of those 3 do I have access to or advantages in that I could go win. So a cleaning business, you could go and post on Craigslist, on Facebook, on Nextdoor, ask your friends. My mom goes to the gym. She's a gym freak. She can do more push-ups than you, and she'll come challenge you. Maybe we'll get her to come do some push-ups. Go to your network and say, hey, I am doing a cleaning business. Let me do the first one for free. Use your network. All right. So now that you got a cleaning business, then how do you scale it? That's a whole nother question. But the point is, if you're trying to start a business so that you can control your time and work on things that matter to you, focus. It's not about e-commerce. It's about what do I have access to and what am I amazing at? Secondly is accountability coaching. So, hey, my mom is extremely accountable, the most accountable person ever. So go to your network. Again, offer to do it for free or very low value. Not low value, excuse me. That's the opposite. Low cost with high value, and see if anyone bites. And number three, if my mom is is the flower thing, you could either, there's a few options here. A, go to your neighbors and say, hey, if you're interested in flowers, let me help you. B, go to people working from home. Say, hey, you're working from home. If you have like a flower at your house, it's going to make you a lot fucking happier. My ex-girlfriend from a long time ago was like, flowers make your house feel alive. And it's changed my way. I almost always have flowers at home. And the thing you could do there is reach out to all your friends working from home. Be like, hey, it's $5 a week. I'll bring you flowers each week. And you can just have nice flowers in your videos and nice flowers at home. And it feels really good. It's $5 a week. So my point there is that all those are leading to, how do I work on something that matters? How do I control my time? And so I can have freedom. And instead of just thinking, and I think where people make mistakes in starting businesses, they're like, how do I do recurring revenue? How do I do info product? And they're looking at it the wrong way. Who can I help that I'm great at and I'm excited to help, and turn that into the business? And I think that is the best way I would start an e-commerce business, is not to start an e-commerce business. And so the other thing that you can approach this on is, if you're interested in a specific topic like flowers, or maybe it's podcasting, or maybe it's like storage. So I've been starting to get into storage. Look at this. This is my cable storage, because I'm getting into photography, because I can be creative. You can be creative. You can be whatever the fuck you want to be. There's no limits anymore. And the idea there is, go to sendfox.com and start a newsletter and start educating people and building up your community, or put out a YouTube video. YouTube is free. I don't know if you guys fucking realize that. To put up videos on YouTube, there's no cost. You ever thought about that? There's no fucking cost. And you can put up videos for free and start building that attention, start helping those people. And then you can say, hey, well, what if I created something? Like my stepdad is an amazing engineer. He's created a lot of things. He doesn't want to start businesses. We've had a really fascinating conversation about that. He doesn't want to, but he's created things. And if you have the audience, you can sell them something, because they now trust you. So if you are looking to start e-commerce business, if you're looking to start an info marketing business, if you're looking to start a coaching business, anything, the most important part is that you build up your tribe of people that have been valued by you and gotten results from you, so they want to do the things that you are there to teach them. Okay. So that is how to start an e-commerce business. We're going to keep going through more questions. This is great. I fucking love you guys. And if you guys have not submitted questions, it's in the description below. Benjamin Temple, what is up, my man? I think you're part of the Jewish tribe. And if you're not part of our Jewish tribe, I still love you just as much. You guys are all dope. So what does your org chart look like? I have to find it. I'd have to find it, but I can describe it. Let me see if I can find the org chart. Oh, Sumo org chart. All right, let me see if I can pull it up. This might be an outdated one, but I'll pull it up and see if I can describe it. And so, excuse me, no one cares about my org chart. No one cares about org charts. There is a site, actually, there's a dope site that got funded called The Org. But the thing is, this is fucking interesting. If you guys don't check out this site, I'll post the URL below. But the org is actually, you can study the org charts of all these companies. This is fucking really interesting. So check it out, theorg.com. Org charts, here's been my biggest fascination with companies. It takes a lot more people to run a larger company than I expected. That's my biggest thing. And the only two ways you can grow a business, there's only two ways to grow a business: people and technology. That's it. Either more people or more technology. There's no other way to scale a business. And if you find one else out, like maybe you get some God level in you, you let me know. I think what I would learn from, and one of the things I've done in the past, David, that's been really helpful, go look at your competitors and see who they're hiring. Go to their job section, or go to LinkedIn and look up the company and look and create their org chart. And guess what? If you see a company bigger than you doing an org chart thing or hiring certain people, there's probably something for you to learn there. Those are good. That was two really good ideas. Really good ideas. Ideas are free, but those are two good ones. So there's been a few questions. As much as there's questions on this stuff, I'm trying to just make sure so Matteo Pantaloni, one awesome name. I hope you sound Italian. Started a podcast about professional development. Now that's my main business. Yeah, consistency wins. So in terms of org chart, that's that. In terms of Sumo Group, the way that here's probably the biggest game changer for Sumo Group, whether I don't know if the whole company's realized it or not. And you can check out our company. I'll put our company. I think we have, this is a site. It's AppSumo is our main number one thing. And you should have a main number one thing. But SumoGroup.inc, SumoGroupInc.com. Basically, this has been the game changer. But David Ben Temple, pay attention to this part. The way that we've scaled the business is not the org chart. It's making people leaders of pieces. and having a number, a goal that they fucking own. You know, like feisty here. What does that mean? David is in charge of SendFox. He is the fucking boss. One of my favorite phrases that I respond to in Slack and when I'm talking to people that work at our company, and no one ever works for me. I want to just highlight that shit. I fucking hate the word employees, and I hate the word I work for someone. Because I want people who want to be the boss. And I want everyone at our company to be the fucking boss. I don't want them to have a job. I want them to have a career. And so David at SendFox, and if you guys are using sendfox.com, you should start a newsletter. You should start building your tribe now for free. So when you want to eat, you've already been planting seeds for many years to come. And so David, I said, David, you're in charge. That is my new fucking favorite phrase. You are in charge. So give them in charge. Let them be in charge. Give them a destination, a goal, and stay the fuck out of their way. Eamon, AppSumo, in charge. Chad, Halldrop, in charge. Mitchell, OK Dork, in charge. Put people in fucking charge and give them destinations and give them boundaries and coach the fuck out of them. But let them be in charge. And that is the only way you're going to grow a business. So I'm going to keep doing more questions, but this is a pretty fun question. How do you ensure your products, services are great? I asked this to Nick Kalakanis from Alinea Group, which is one of my favorite restaurants on earth. And it's been the best meal of my life from Alinea in Chicago. If you get a chance to eat their food, I fucking do it in a heartbeat. I'll pull up Alinea. And so how do you make sure your products or service is great? There's many ways of doing it. This is off the cuff, but I'd say number one, you're proud of it. You talk about it. And when I stopped talking about like sumo.com, I stopped talking about it for a while. It's like, oh, it's not great because I wasn't proud of it. Two, you're using it. So if you have a product or service where you use, so talking about it, number one. Two, you fucking use it. Yes. Number three, this is probably an interesting one. How do you make sure your product or services are great? If your product or service were to go away, does anyone going to say anything? Think about that. If your product or service went away, is anyone going to fucking miss you? Turn your product off for a week. Tell your customers you're going on vacation. And if it's not, maybe it's not great. All right. Yes, Bharat is asking about sendfox.com. Check it out. You can do automation and a lot of different things within that for SendFox. Keep coming to your questions. So Jen Karen, this is a good one. I guess we're going to do some org chart stuff. But how do you keep a team culture of responsibility as you grow larger and have more defined roles? I think that is actually a function of who you hire. So I'm going to talk about, there's a lot of different things with that question, but I'll keep it really simple. So I think you have to keep hiring people that are responsible. How do you make sure you hire people responsible? So when I've hired, and when we do hire at AppSumo and these things, a lot of times I'll say, follow up with me on this day and this time. It's so fucking simple. So, but fucking unbelievable how many people suck. All you have to do to be in the 1% is do 1% more. All you have to do to be in the 1% is do 1% more. And it's so fucking easy. So that is definitely a piece of it. And most people can't follow up on time. When I'm hiring, I literally only look for two things: attitude, follow up. That's it. Other thing when you're hiring, this is what I've learned from Amazon, and it's something we do. We call the Helsinki test. So we do it at AppSumo. And basically, as you're hiring people, this is what they do at Amazon. It's called a bar raiser. And the bar raiser is you have someone who's doing the hiring. They say, is this person hiring better than 50% of the people we already have? It's pretty fucking interesting. I like that approach. So those are two ways about hiring, because I think it starts with who you're hiring, and then it's structure, right? So how are you structuring responsibility? What we do in our company, and I'll pull up an example of it, is we do a thing called GMOs. I'll pull up a GMO in the background so you guys can see it. And so the part of a GMO, what that is here's what we're doing this month. And that is fucking truth. And so we're having some problems right now because we're doing things not on the GMO, and it's driving me fucking crazy. And let me see if I can show this. Okay, yeah, I can show this. So this is an example of that for SendFox. So for sendfox.com, we're going to be the #1 place online for people to grow their audience. We want to make it $1 million business by the end of the year. If it's not, we're probably going to cut it. But this is responsibility. And so how do you have a culture of responsibility as you go? You hold people the fuck accountable. You say, what did you say you're going to do? When did you say you're going to do it? And if it's not fucking done, there needs to be some understanding, or it needs to be talked about really early in the discussion. And so we have a GMO, and every single week it's like, yo, are you on track or not on track? And so I think you have to hire the right people. And then we use a thing called GMO, which is your goal, metrics that matter to the goal, and then the outcomes that affect the metrics, which help your goal. So let me repeat that again. Your goal is like, we want to get $1 million. What are the metrics that help you get $1 million? And then what are the outcomes that'll help those metrics drive that $1 million goal? And so the thing you have to do is, you as the leader need to hold those people accountable to it. And if it's not, that's on you to make sure that you do that. So that is how we approach it in Sumo Group. All right. Daniel Sweeney, I love you too. Jonathan Cousins, love you. Wineman, yes, yes, yes. All right. I've got another 20 minutes of questions. Great to see all of your faces. Man, I fucking love you guys. If you guys are not if you guys are looking to start businesses, I'm just going to put it up there. And this is a question, Brett. How do you know your product is great? Because you're proud of telling people about it. And we've created a course. It's called monthly1k.com. It's $7. And if you're looking to start a business, if you're looking to overcome some fear, check it out. A lot of people get the first dollar. We have this thing called the $1 challenge, where people get their first dollar. And it is probably one of my favorite things in the world to see. I fucking love seeing people face some fears, go overcome some challenges, and get their businesses started. All right, we've got a shit ton more questions, and the questions are in the description below. Oh shit. So Ryan Fleming, what is up, man? Ryan Patrick, he does marketing for a gaming tavern here in Las Vegas. So this is a really interesting question. I don't do a lot of agency work, and I've never done a lot of consulting. But he is saying, how do I grow my agency business without pissing off my existing client? How would you guys do it? I'm gonna do an audience one. Ryan, I'm calling out your question right now. And Alicia, I'll answer your stuff as well. I'll do my best to help as many people as possible. Oh, and then I'll talk about Pete. But so Ryan is saying, hey, I have so this is really interesting. And Ryan, I'm going to teach you the thing that I think I would approach it as. So Ryan has a client and he wants to get more clients, but he's worried that they're going to be pissed off, that they're like, oh, blah, 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 blah. One, so I think there's two pieces of this. I think, Ryan, number one, your current client is not going to fucking care. I would actually ask your current client for a referral. So that's number one. The second thing, the way that Ryan is doing it, is Ryan is saying yes, Aaron, exactly right. I'm going to call it out. So if you're trying to get, Mateus is asking for a discount. Mateus, it's $7 for the course for monthly1k.com, and we give you the money back. So I don't know how I can give you an extra discount when I already give you your money back. And we do that because when people got it for free, they didn't actually do the work and they didn't value it. So in terms of that, number one, talk to the client. Aaron J. Pearson, one, great family photo picture, but that's number one. Yes, be honest. Number two, ask for a referral from your existing client because they know other restaurant owners. Here's the third thing I would approach. So one thing that Ryan said that I don't like, but it's great. I'm glad that you said it because I think a lot of people are probably having this question, Ryan, is that I sent out a few DMs. I'm going to put this up there. I sent out a few DMs to other gaming taverns, but I'm not confident in my outreach messaging. So I post your outreach in the comments and I'll pull it up. Here is how you should be approaching people. Two ways. Number one, you show them the fucking result for them. So what does that mean? Hey, I see that you're doing this on Yelp, or I see that you're doing this on Facebook. I did it for you. Here's how it looks. And then you send them that. I call it the free way. The free way. Send them the fucking proof. Send them the Yelp page. Send them the website update. Send them the Instagram image. Send them the TikTok. Send them the YouTube video. Send them the email marketing you're going to do. Send them the proof. And of course, they're going to have to talk to you. What you're doing in your DM is probably pussy shit. You're doing weak shit. You're like, hey, man, I'd like to do your marketing. That's like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. I don't got one because it sucks. What you got to do is send them the proof. Send them something so fucking good they have to respond to you. The second thing you can do is, if you're trying to approach businesses, is if they're doing something here on one side and they're not doing something here on the other side that you know fucking works and you know will be valuable for them, show them that, like, hey, let me show you part of the party that you're missing out on this side of the party. And send them that and say, hey, I see you're doing a lot. I've gotten that. This has happened to me. Hey, I see you're doing a lot of YouTube. Let me help you out on Instagram and let me do it for you. So there's this guy, Jeremy, who's started working with us because he just started showing it to me. He's like, hey, you can actually get a lot more audience here and let me start doing it for you. I could not help him. I could not hire him, dude. I couldn't not hire him. And so those are the kind of things I would be approaching for that, Ryan. So there was some questions about a book, and I'm starting to work on a book called Big Dicking. I haven't finalized the title yet, but it's about how to find fear. And oh man, I just love. Can I do a quick? I'm going to do a quick audience survey. I'd love your guys' opinion on this. I really would, and I'd appreciate it. I want to do a book called Big Dicking. I'm curious what you think of the title. And the book, the subtitle, which is the part I want to, I'd be curious, what do you want out of the book? I'd love to hear from you. This is really helpful for me, and I really would appreciate it. The subtitle is overcoming fear, finding confidence in yourself, and success on your business journey. And so what I would love to know from you is, what would you like to get out of that book? And maybe even not that book, but what would be the most helpful thing for you about finding fear, overcoming fear, finding confidence in yourself, and success on your business journey? What stories or topics, or how does that sound to you? I'd really love to hear about that. It really would be helpful for me because that's something I'm facing a fear, and I'm facing a fear of it's going to take a long time to write a book. And I'm so into the igniting and the starting and let's fucking go that I want to actually practice slowness. And so I'd love to hear some of your comments and feedbacks around that. Yes. So Jen, that's good feedback. So keep the feedback coming. This is a superpower that I want to give everyone. And I'm going to just share it as you guys are talking about the book. So yes, please give me a lot of feedback. What stories do you want to hear? What questions do you have about your business? What fear are you facing? Where do you need help with confidence? Where do you need help with your marketing? And the idea there is I was going to share my story about a lot of the fears I'm facing, stories I've seen from monthly1k.com. And so I'd love for, keep the feedback coming. Okay. So you like challenges. You guys like the challenges. I wrote a novel in 15 days. That's fucking pretty impressive. I want to face my fear of like working on something that's going to take more than a week. That's going to take potentially years. And it'll force slowness in my life. And I think I can help a lot of you overcome fears and get more success from some of my experiences. That'll save you guys a lot of fucking time. Bring the underdogs. Maybe it's called the underdogs. I love that, Steven. Nicolette said, I like the challenges you have shared today. Yeah, keep the feedback coming. And what I'll do is I'm actually going to give you my structure for feedback. I'll post it in just a second for how I like to do feedback. Okay. Uku Kant, your name is so interesting. Give advice on tools and practices that you to fight fear. Okay. The title needs work. All right, Peter. So Big Dicking, maybe not that. Maybe the underdogs. Maybe I had an idea called Fear 30. So I bought Fear. I love buying domains. I hope you guys all know that. I love buying domains. Fear30.com, like 30 days of fear to find yourself. Or I had this idea of like, if you face fear, you can have everything you want. If you're willing to face all of your fears, you can have everything you want in life. Okay, FOMO, making decisions that will mean cutting some off. Yeah, I like that. Massive fear, Jonathan, Courtney, how to be okay with not being liked. Focus on failures and lessons. Save 20 years of shit in one book. Yeah, I would say you can learn a lot. I've made a lot of mistakes, a lot of fear, a lot of depression. I mean, things that all of us are going through. And I'd love to help you shortcut and save a lot of that time and overcome fears. So it seems like the Fear 30 is pretty cool. Yes to the underdogs. Fear 30 is your 75 hard. Jen, I like that. Do you guys like the Fear 30? Basically 30 days of facing fears to help you get whatever you want in life. Yeah, I like facing fear and getting all you want. Yeah, Annie, Alexander, thank you for helping. Yeah, feel free to send me a message on LinkedIn. Facing fear and getting all you want. From Steven, from underdog to big dick. I would say my story is like from underdog to micro dick, but the title, underdog to big dick. I think the title Big Dicking is interesting because, now all these books out there, they have asterisks. Every book has an asterisk. The subtle fuck of fucking, the fuck of fuck. It's like, dude, okay, we got the asterisk thing. But I think the Big Dicking is kind of in that vein where it's a little edgy. It's on the edge. And so that's kind of made me a little bit more excited about it. I definitely know it has a kind of polarizes people, which is good and bad. Fear 30, running towards your fears, ding, ding. The Fearometer, turning your 10-year rule into 2 to get what you want. All right, Peter, I like that. Running towards your fears. Oh, man, Shatish Rao. And Shatish, I hope you're still making videos. Shatish, I want to see your videos below. I'm also looking for the comment from, where's the messages? So by the way, Ryan Fleming was talking about how to message people. So this is Ryan's message. I just want to call it out. And I like going, I know I go back and forth on things sometimes, guys, but I want to make sure that we get, there's the circle of life gets complete. So Ryan, one, you look like a badass, dude. Like you look like one of the guys in a Guy Ritchie movie. But this is actually a better message than I expected from you. But if you look at it, your thing, it's like, hey guys, thanks for the ad. How's business over there? This looks like every shitty LinkedIn message I get. I have too much fucking fun with this stuff. I love you guys. And I do have to get going probably in about 10 to 15 minutes because otherwise I need to hang out with my family. That's my intention for the week. But I love you guys. So I want to make sure I do the 8-figure office hours. So this is the spammy LinkedIn message. Hey, thanks for the ad. I have some consulting business. Do you want to hire me? Hey, I have some outsourced fucking thing. So Ryan, I would just experiment with different approaches. Experiment with giving them something valuable. I like that you had social proof. Hey, I help Gaming Tavern. But instead of I do all the marketing, what have you done for Wahoo's? Hey, I've helped Wahoo double their business with Instagram marketing. I've seen some things that you guys are showing. What's the best email for me to send it to you guys? How could they not respond to you? How could they not respond? And so I think I would approach it with a little bit more like, oh my God, how can I not respond to Ryan? I'm going to keep coming back to the book stuff, but that, Ryan, I think will help you with your messaging. But I think you're on the right track. But make it so I'm like, oh my God, he doubled their marketing. I've got to talk to this guy. Not how's business over there. I'm like, business is fucking bad. I'm struggling. I don't need another fuck messaging me about it. A big dicking, shut up and take it. How to lean into the fear. Dude, Kale, man, maybe you're going to be my my ghostwriter. You'll help me on it. Oh yeah, that's actually kind of cool. Maybe I could do the dick with the asterisks. Okay, interesting. All right, cool. I'm going to come back to more questions. We'll do another 15 minutes, but I really thank you guys for this. Let me share my feedback formula. I have a feedback formula. Man, I'll just here. I'm going to share my screen. This is, oh man, this is a little sensitive, but I'll share it anyways. I think that's fine. All right. So I am going to share my screen. This is feedback. Oh, I don't know why I'm sharing this. You see that? Oh shit. You can see all my stuff. Hold on. I got to remove that for a second. Hold on. But I want to share with you how like my feedback formula, because I think it's very powerful. There it is. All right. So this is my feedback formula. And here's how you do feedback. At the bottom of it, let me show you the formula. I put this together recently. So this is the way the feedback, I like calling it that, the feedback formula. If you want to be excellent at anything, all you have to do is get fucking feedback and implement it. Here is the feedback formula. Number 1, ask for it. Ask for it. I didn't want to ask for it because I was fucking afraid of getting like negative shit talked to me. So I asked for feedback. Number 2, get it from people that matter, not your YouTube commenters of fucking losers who have do nothings that are commenting. Ask for it from someone that matters to you, from a friend, from your husband, from your coworker, from your priest, whoever you believe in. Number 3, do it regularly. So on my calendar, every quarter, ask for feedback. And I stopped doing it. And I was like, oh, maybe this is why I'm not improving. Number 4, you have to take the learnings, the good and the improvements, and put them into a system. So you make them fucking happen. Asterisks. And number 5, say thank you. This is something that's really important. I got feedback from someone and I was mad at them. And I was wondering why I was mad about it. And it was because I didn't ask them for fucking feedback. If the person doesn't ask you for feedback, don't give it to them. But if you are asking for feedback, listen to it. Doesn't mean you have to accept all of it, by the way. Just means you have to hear it, but always say thank you. All right. And so here is the feedback I got from people. I'm just going to share mine. Just kind of interesting. So Mitchell, who runs OK Dork, he said, I need to be more focused with our time together. I have multiple screens. I've got Zoom and I'm fucking clicking. We can get things done faster. Prepare more when coming into meetings. So when I do these 8-figure office hours, we have the Google Doc and I go and look through all of it and I write up answers before I do this. I'm more prepared. David wanted to connect more with me individually. Chad said, so we do a thing called T3B3. It's basically the idea is when you're getting feedback, I like doing, what are 3 things I'm doing well that I should continue? And what are 3 things I should improve on? This is you can call it your top 3 or bottom 3. That's another nicer way of saying it. So Chad, who's my partner who runs Hall Drop, he said, embrace what excites me. And this excites me. That's why I do this. I fucking love you guys. COVID step up. He liked that I stepped up and focus. He's like, appsumo.com is number 1. Focus the fuck on that. Bottom 3. So these are interesting. He said, my energy and attitude can be inconsistent. So notice if my energy is inconsistent and don't bring that into the meeting. 2, conflicting messaging. I'll say like, go left and right at the same time. and practice what I preach. So if I'm talking about focus and vision, fucking do focus and vision. So stay focused. And so anyways, here's what's important. And this is the part of, it's not about me. I'm trying to do it so for you can be powerful and improving. So I wrote down, and I have a thing that this is at the top of my notes. So I see this regularly. What am I going to continue? So focus on things that excite me. Remember that team that Absum was number one. Keep stepping up and leaning into the company. And so I see this often. And so this, keep doing the things to improve focus and vision. And so with this, it's like, how do I set these things up? So put them in my calendar, or like include Eamon and Alona in team decisions. So on decisions now, I'm much more aware, oh shit, I need to make sure I include them and not tell them. Or with Alona, who runs a lot of the marketing apps, which is phenomenal. With her, we meet every other week to talk about marketing, or once a month at least right now. So how do you put these into play? Consistent energy. Notice what fucking drains me, and notice my energy in meetings as well. Like stuff like this, where I get to hang out with you and like help y'all and talk to you and learn from y'all. Do more of that stuff, and that gives me more energy. So that is my system. That is my feedback formula. I hope that is helpful for y'all, for you guys. Oh man, you guys have so much stuff about the book. Holy shit. Kyle Cordes, look at this shit. I love it, man. He's like, your stuff is good, but you're prosperous enough to afford a new headset. This headset works. So Kyle, this is interesting, man. I went and looked at all the new headsets, like the Bose 35XC9 or what the fuck. It doesn't have some of the things this has, and this works perfectly. I would say the AirPods Pro are a fucking game changer. These, like, if you guys have an iPhone and you have not upgraded the AirPods Pro with the noise canceling and the transparency, dope, super dope. Jonathan, I just talked about my feedback. 30 Days of Fear. Don't quote your name, please. Okay, I won't quote your name. So he said, this person said, I'm 32 and have 2 semi-successful businesses, which eventually are on the verge of shutdown now. I feel like I'm late to start anything specific, as I'm good at a few things and have an urgency result. So, and I won't say your name. So a lot of people have lost their jobs. They didn't lose their jobs. The fucking manager took it from you, or the boss took it from you, and you didn't take control of your own destiny. And that's what you have to be responsible for. And this is not as an insult to this person, but he said, I had 2 semi-successful businesses. So to me, a successful business is recession-proof. And what does that mean? Is that you are needed almost even more during a downturn. And look, if it happens, now it's a time to get our heads out of the sand. And what's interesting is if you've already had a successful business, 1, it shows that you know how to work hard. And 2, you already have a customer base. So how can you help that customer base more? So for example, we did this Meet Fam thing, meetfam.com. Don't go checking it out. But we basically spent all this money and no one wanted it. And it happens. That's part of business. That's why I try to encourage you guys to go face fears and overcome them, because you have to keep going. But we found out that all these Shopify and e-commerce stores didn't need help anymore with email marketing. There's enough competitors out there. They all need help with customers. So we built hauldrop.com to help them. And I'll bring it up in the background. And so the thing I'm trying to encourage you and everyone out there is that all of us get rejected. All of us are going to have some hardships, no matter what. That never ends, no matter how rich you are. And these challenges, there's a book I've read, and I'm gonna put the book up here because it was so damn good. I'm putting out a book report on OK Dork, but this book was one of my favorite books this year. And the book, let me edit it. Hold on, stay with me, and I'll tell you the book. The book is The Upside of Stress. And this book is phenomenal, and it's especially great right now. And so with Haul Drop, we were doing Meet Fam. No one needed email marketing, but guess what? They all needed customers. So Chad and Justin and Steinberg and Sean built Haul Drop to help these stores get customers. And so my point for you is tough times are going to happen. No matter how rich you get, no matter how great life is, challenges are happening, and challenges are what help define you and help make you better. And so this is, right now a really tough time, and I'm sorry that you're going through it, but I'm also excited for you. It's a time for you to take your freedom back and get control. And so the book Upside of Stress, one of my favorite books this year, highly recommended, is that stress is a great thing. And I read the title and I was like, okay, I read the book. But my suggestion with it is that, like, all right, how do I lean into stress? And then how am I approaching stress to make it more effective? And so we'll be putting out on okdork.com. I'll be putting out a book report. And I'm going to probably do my best to interview this person to help show for you guys, as you're stressed out, that's great energy to go into, not away from. And you can do it. So you got it, man. Don't worry about it. And hauldrop.com, by the way, guys, if you have an e-commerce store and you want to promote a product, or you're just trying to check out new interesting products, go to hauldrop.com to learn it. Boom. All right. Bam, we're back. And Upside Stress, check it out. My other favorite book of right now, I want to know your favorite book that you've read so far this month. But this book, honestly, I was a little shocked how great it was. The book is Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. This book is fucking fire. I'm loving this book. I just finished it, but Upside of Stress, Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. That plus Surrender Experiment have been game changers for me in the past recently. I appreciate you guys with all the feedback about the book. If you are interested in being an early reader of the book, why don't we do this? Email book@okdork.com and I'll put you on the beta list. Why is my B button not working? Email book@okdork.com, beta list for my fear book. Because I'd really appreciate it. I'll get you guys early copies. I'd love to help you with your fears. I like to work on my own fears. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time. But if you were interested, it seems like Jonathan, or a lot of you guys, Minda, David, Ryan, whatever it is, if you guys are interested in working on your fears and being a part of the book journey, I would love your help. Kenneth Van Dyken, one dope name. I love Vans. Like if you ever have the Van Blah in your name, like Van Schmeider, Van Dieter, I'm like, dude, you fuck. I like that stuff. Kale, if you guys are interested in working on the book with me and want to be a part of the early process, I'd love your help on it. So email book@okdork.com and I'll put you on the beta list and you will be one of the people and we'll overcome some fears and fucking get everything we want out of life. Book@okdork.com to be a beta reader. Not to be a reader, I mean a beta fucking liver. I want beta results. I want you to help you with your fears to get the things that you want. All right, and you guys are posting. Post your favorite books and I'm going to comment them out. I'm going to call them out. And I think I'll do another 15 minutes. Actually, it's been an hour and a half. And honestly, hour and a half is about as all I got. I notice I start fading and I don't give you the good juice. So let's finish with our favorite books. Simple Rules. Ooh, I like this. Simple Rules, How to Succeed in a Complex World. That is dope. Ooh, Kale Marker said, Let My People Go Surfing by Vaughn Jashard. He's the Patagonia guy. I'm going to write that one down. People Go Surfing. I think I'm putting that on my list, man. That's a good one. Yes, if you're in. Hey, what's up, David? Yes, Iku, beta liver. Beta liver, yes. I'm fucking beta doers. I don't want a beta reader. I want people beta doing. The Art of Being Fearful. Cool, I like that one. Simple Rules. How to Succeed in a Complex World. I think I have that one bookmarked. Thank you, Jonathan. Peter, this guy is blown up in a very positive way. I think he's given people a lot of optimism. Is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. I think the book I'm focusing on is going to be similar to that, but probably a little bit more business oriented. So how to face some fears and getting the things you want out of business. And I think David's done a great job of that just from a psychological mindset point of view. Adam Knight has called out Chimp Paradox is awesome. Steve Peters, The Chimp Paradox. Sweet. That looks really good. Thank you, Adam, for sharing that. Atomic Habits. What is that, Michelle Hansen? I know Michelle Hansen. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It's funny. There's actually a lot of drama about his book, but I've enjoyed his material. I thought, you can learn something from everyone, and I've enjoyed that book a lot. Living with the Seal. David, I've read that book. Marketing Rebellion. I have not heard of that book. Let me write that one down. Marketing Rebellion by David. Marketing Rebellion. All right. Living with the Seal. I really like that one. It's funny. I read this book, David. I read it New Year's Eve 3 years ago, and I finished it in like 2 days. And then I literally stalked Jesse Itzler, and I called him, and I found him, and I flew to Atlanta to meet him because of the book. It's so and then David Goggins is the star of the book, is with Jesse, and it's that book gets you fucking going. Like that book is like it's like a caffeine, it's like a adrenaline shot. So I highly love that book. I want alpha results from beta readers. Yes. And again, if you're interested in being a part of the beta doers group, I'm working on a book about fear and success in business. It's email book@okdork.com to be a part of that beta group. Oh, Jason Blake, one of my favorite books all time. And doesn't Jason Blake look like one of that actor guy? Doesn't he? He really does. Really, really does. Blitz Scaling. Oh, that was an interesting one. Yeah, I love Chris Ye. He's an amazing dude. I haven't met Reid Hoffman, but really impressed with him. This is one I haven't heard of. The Hand Sculpted House, a philosophical and practical guide to building a cob cottage. Oh, delightful. I feel like you have to have a T when you say that shit. So David Hestrin, push-ups. I've been doing 250 push-ups a day. And my favorite app is Push Fit. It's free. So if you guys are trying to do push-ups, I'm aiming to do 100,000 push-ups this year. That's one of my goals. It's on my goal list. Peter, I think one of the things that's interesting about Think and Grow Rich as well, that book, is that the things that we're working on, what are we working on that'll still be amazing in 100 years? Like monthly1k.com, and this is not, I'm not promoting it to, you have to go buy it or all these things, but I was looking at our monthly1k.com course, which is literally the exact formula that we use of overcoming fear and starting a business that we've used many, many times. And I reviewed it 2 months ago, and I was like, this is fucking great. It's still relevant. It doesn't have it's the fundamentals of starting a business. And that's why we relaunched it. And that's why we're like excited for people to go take results for themselves. And it's like, how do you work on things that will be around in 100 years? Or maybe even 10. Who knows, we'll be alive in 100, but at least 10. 1 million followers. Oh yeah, that's what you love that one, Kevin. Limitless by Jim Quick. Jim Quick is really, really interesting. Kind of reminds me of the book Moonwalking with Einstein. I really love that book. If you guys have not read that one, that is amazing as well. It's been an hour and a half. So the way I'm going to start ending these shows, because I love the 8-figure office hours. I love every single one of you. David, Jason, Minda, Dieter. Me and you're going to have a chat about Germany and Israel and our peoples and unifying the world together. What are you doing for yourself today? So I will tell you, and I'll start mine. I am making a video called the 26 fastest growing business ideas based on data. I'm making that video after I'm going to go chill for half an hour, do some push-ups and some lunch. But that is my one thing I'm doing today. This is how I'm going to end the show. What is the one thing you are doing for yourself today? What is the one thing? What is the one thing you are doing for yourself today to move yourself forward? And I expect every single one of you to post below. Yeah, I fucking expect every single one of you to post below. So you go and take some action for yourself. What is the one thing that you are doing for yourself today? To me, making a video, 26 fastest growing business ideas, because I want to give you fucking people out there like, I got no ideas. There's more than enough ideas. Now you got to go do the execution, and I'm here to help you with that if you're willing to put in the work. I'm going to call out the people of what you're doing, and every single person, no matter where you are in the world, you should be commenting on this below. So post what you're doing today. David, Minda, Annie, David. So, all right, now people are going wild. So Weinman is going to read tonight. Jen is going to meet with her business mastermind group. Yes. Yes, Adam Knight's picking up guitar. Yeah, that's awesome. Today's my day off chess. I've realized that it's like my Instagram. So I'm off chess today, but I don't know. I'll probably do piano. Oh, not probably. I'll do piano tomorrow. So Akash is going to start writing articles on Medium about branding and marketing. Annie, it's also 8 p.m. She's going to have a beer. That's great. Make sure you rest. Rest is just as important as action. That's something I'm really learning a lot about this year. Minda is going to go on an awesome run for a chai tea latte. And what is this? And some golden poppies. Then doing a video questions on FB and writing you. Yes. Hell yeah. My podcast every day. Kale, no, there's no cliche. Don't be ashamed. He's going to do his podcast. Yes, go do your podcast, man. Shatisha is going to read Ray Dalio's Principles. Ray Dalio's Principles is a fucking amazing book. That shit is dope. He was impressive as shit with that one. I don't know where Schulte is. Schulte, what are you doing? Peter's going to meet with his buddy on Zoom to work on our book. Yes. Peter, come back next week, and I'll do my best to answer your question about your book. So let's do that. Yes. So Will Preston, I'm going to edit my first ever YouTube video on how to create a VPN for yourself. David Towers is going to do the 1K monthly income by you, bro. After that work, just got that first $1. Yes, my man. He's on monthly1k.com, and he did the $1 challenge. And if you guys have links to your things like your podcast, your URLs, promote yourself. If you love it, which you should, promote it. Put it in the URL. Stephen Rootman, thank you, my man. He's going to call his friend and tell him about the 8-figure office hours. So this will be live. You guys can watch this afterwards just as well. And I'll be doing this. I'll do them every Thursday. I didn't do it last week because I was in van life. I was off the grid, which was a whole nother story. And maybe I'll make a video or I'll talk about that later. Chris Masters is going to take the AppSumo course. Ikuo Ken is going to make a video and tell my people in the coaching niche. I love that. Jason Williams, record 2 videos for my business. Yes. Pete. Okay, Pete. I'm going to call you Pete from now on. Share office hours to everyone you know. Thank you, Kevin. You're the man. I love you, dude. David is going to meditate, exercise, organize my files on my computer, and write some code. Hells yes. Jason is going to make my fiance dinner and give her my undivided attention. That's the words of LAG. Bumba Cloud. What? That's dope, dude. I love that. AnnieAlexander.com. I'll call out your URLs. If you've got a podcast, you got a URL. If you're going to do something for yourself today, I'm going to call you out. KaleMarkerPodcast.com. Ryan Fleming. By the way, look, this is fucking exciting. If you guys want to help each other out, that is the beauty. We have an okdork.com/group. where you can meet other people. It makes it a little bit easier to kind of connect and talk to other people in it. Let me see, where the hell is that? okdork.com/group. But there you can go and post different questions in Facebook. It's a bunch of smart people helping you smart people out. Ryan, I love that you did that. If you want to find an accountability buddy, literally one of my favorite things, not all time, but one of my favorite things is in a year, Ryan and Annie are like, hey, we started helping each other. And guess what? How much further we are. Thanks for just like helping be the hub to put it all together. And that is exciting for me. So if you guys want to join the group, it's free. There's no sales pitches. We moderate it, so there's not a lot of spam. There's none. But it's a way to connect with other people. Jason, thank you for... or Ryan, thank you for kind of highlighting that. So call out your URL, gap5.com. Jonathan Cousins is going to apply for a job at Sumo Group. Minda is co-caring.org or vitality.co, VYTALITY.co. Michelle Hansen is going to go for a run and make a video. Yes. Gap5.com by Kale Marker. Alicia Lozano. Hey, Ryan, Alicia, connect in the world. I will attend my masterclass tonight. What's up, Blamat Sarnar? Awesome, man. Good to see you. So Alicia, if you're trying to get into some groups to promote her ebook, maybe instead of promoting the ebook, go help the groups. And then they'll actually say, hey, can you help me more? And you're like, actually, I got this book that you should read that does this stuff for you. A lot of times people in these groups, they're like, shove their shit in your faces. I'm like, yo, I don't want that fucking thing. So it's like Costco. You guys all know Costco. Give me that free sample. I'm like, yo, that's a good sample. I'm going to get the whole box. Me and my dad used to spend all Sundays at Costco. We love free samples. All right. Made to stick. Okay. Michelle Hansen is going to promote her new site, formulate-2020.webflow.io. That is actually one of the fastest growing businesses is Webflow templates. And I will be putting out the video in the next few weeks about the fastest growing business ideas in 2020. All right, guys, it is an hour, 42 minutes. I love every single one of you. You say what you're going to go do today. I've called out your shows. I love all of you. Go fucking make it happen. I'll see you out there.